We're on an Australian adventure. Plunge into the water with a crocodile, soak up Sydney Harbour with a bird's eye view, and crack that whip. I'm Megan Black. Join us for Undiscovered Australia right after the news. Adventures in Australia. I'm Megan Black. Evening Magazine starts now.
There's no adventure like an Australian adventure.
Holy cow, what am I doing?
Kim Holcomb goes swimming with a giant crocodile and tries some of the Outback's most exotic cuisine. Plus, the sights of Sydney with a shot of adrenaline. Suit up and start climbing.
Let's do it.
To the top of the Harbour Bridge. And tricks of the trade for a whip-cracking good time as we continue our tour of Undiscovered Australia.
I'm Michael King in Seattle, and you may have seen him on America's Got Talent. Illusionist Michael Grosso will blow your socks off, or at least make them disappear. It's the magic of Evening Magazine.
It's Evening Magazine for Wednesday, May 11th.
Hi, and welcome to Evening Magazine from Australia tonight. We're going on some adventures, and I gotta tell you, first and foremost, during the wet season, when you come to the Northern Territories, you have to be prepared for your weather adventure. We have already seen some torrential downpours, and we're gonna be seeing some more. Look at the headlines that greeted us upon arrival. Darwin on cyclone watch. That was one day. The next day, we're looking at cyclone sets to form today. When you look out at the beautiful city of Darwin, yep, there's a storm out there over the ocean, so hold on to your hat. We're going to have some fun. Well, if you feel like you are the adventurous type, once you land in Australia, you might think again. In fact, it's the spirit of the Australian adventure that's the only thing we can think to explain what Kim Holcomb's about to do. She's going to get cozy with a 2-ton saltwater croc.
Hey Megan, yeah, you know I've been psyching myself out for this, but I have to admit I'm slightly terrified because in just a minute I'm going to go in there with him.
They're Northern Australia's most notorious natives, and 300 of them live on a downtown city street inside Crocosaurus Cove. One of the wildest wildlife parks in the world, where visitors can try their hands at feeding young crocodiles.
They're still like little kids at this age, or they lose interest really quickly.
Yeah.
So you just have to keep their attention. There you go.
This is where you get to see a lot of your local reptiles.
The park is also home to a famous snake who swallowed a dog and other misunderstood creatures.
We're proving that women are not afraid of snakes. What is that?
Not at all, and on the contrary.
Turns out we make pretty good crocodile handlers too.
Okay, this is baby Charlie. I think they're one of the most amazing creatures. Just the look of them spells totally prehistoric, you know.
Fiona McKean is fearless,
Hello, darling.
no matter who she's dealing with. And the big ones are huge, 15 feet long with 3.5 tons of pressure behind their bites. Awesome to watch from behind a wall, but I was about to get even closer.
No famous last words?
Good luck. Nice knowing you.
This is the Cage of Death, and if the name doesn't build confidence, neither will the obvious teeth marks from previous encounters. Thick plexiglass was all that would separate me from an 80-year-old giant named Houdini.
Holy cow, what am I doing?
The most terrifying part is being slowly lowered in and realizing you're eye to eye with a dinosaur. Within moments, two things became clear: the size of Houdini's teeth and my inability to hold my breath longer than 10 seconds because of the size of those teeth. But as it turned out, Houdini wasn't in the mood to work his magic. Even my best efforts to get his attention were largely ignored. But he did patiently pose for pictures until my 15 minutes in the cage were up. And in the end, I found myself wishing for just a little more time.
They actually run into me.
feel a little dejected. That was awesome.
Now, a trip in the cage of death will cost you about $120, but if you convince a friend to go with you, you get a bit of a discount. Well, don't catch your breath just yet, because we are taking you on another crazy adventure guaranteed to make you a bit weak in the knees. We're not going in the water, but high above it over Sydney Harbour. If you really want to see unforgettable views of Sydney, do it from new heights by climbing all the way up there where the flags fly, on top of the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
So you've got 360-degree views of this beautiful city of Australia.
But first, you need to sign on, suit up, and harness in for what was recently rated one of the world's top 10 biggest adrenaline rushes.
So just watch your head coming through there.
Mel Duane is an experienced leader.
Good job. Well done.
Who never tires of taking tourists right to the top.
I've been here for about 11 years now, so I've had the privilege of walking to the top of this bridge about 4,000 times.
Mel leads the way along catwalks and beams on the lower span of the world's largest steel arch bridge.
All up, just took just over 8 years to build the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Just a few steps into the climb and already the view of the Opera House is impressive.
When we actually get to the top of the bridge today, we're going to be double the height of the tallest point.
Getting there can be the challenge if going up and looking down makes you queasy.
But I have to say, there is at least one person in every group that has some sort of fear of heights. We just talk them through it, and most of the time, if they're determined enough to do it and they've got the passion to get to the top of one of Australia's most famous icons, then they will do it within themselves.
Plenty of adventurers make this climb every day. If you're 10 years or older, you can do it. So it's kind of hard to chicken out.
It's not dangerous. As you can see, we're about to walk onto the widest part of the arch, and it is a staircase to get to the top of the bridge. So it's very, very easy. How close are we to the top? We are very, very close to the top, yes.
So while these final steps to the summit are not exhausting,
let's do it.
They will take your breath away.
Beautiful, isn't it? So you've pretty much got a 60-kilometre radius around us out here, all the way out, of course, to the Tasman Sea and the Pacific Ocean. And if we were in a building right now, we'd be on about the 35th floor.
440 feet above cars and boats where those flags fly.
We did make it. Good job.
Exhilaration. Yeah! And an official photo op follows every bridge climb, along with the realization that what goes up must come down. I'm still getting that creepy feeling in my legs from that. Hey, what a gorgeous way, though, to see Sydney Harbour. There are several different trips or climbs available, and they all cost right around $200.
Later on in the show, from Crocodile to Kangaroo, we'll show you what's on the menu in the Outback. And next, an Australian whip maker teaches Megan the tricks of the trade.
Welcome back to Australia's Northern Territories. You know, Australia has its fair share of characters. There's Crocodile Dundee and the Crocodile Hunter. And then you'll find Mick in the Outback, whipping up quite a show.
It's good fun, keeps you fit, and it's my lifestyle.
The lifestyle of Mick Denigan, cracking and hand-making whips, keeping a dying Australian tradition alive.
It was pretty well dead all around Australia. People were using modern techniques for agricultural management of cattle, etc. And so I thought, well, no, I'll take it up. They're good fun.
For 24 years, this Aussie has been having good fun, handcrafting his Mick whips, more than 6,000 a year. His whips are authentic Australian, made from kangaroo skin. So this is kangaroo right here?
That's correct.
Wow.
That's kangaroo. This is also kangaroo. It's the strongest lightweight leather in the world for its thickness, and it's what makes Australian whips the best.
And the best take time. Each whip takes more than half a day to make, but the tip or cracker, well, it's fast.
And that travels faster than the speed of sound, making a sonic boom and the noise.
A sonic boom, huh?
Yeah, 700 miles an hour, something like that.
How do you use it?
Well, Megan, I'll show you.
Okay.
It's very easy. Hand on your hip, that steadies you up, around and around like a helicopter. Wait till the cracker is behind your shoulder and then drop your arm and follow through. Hey!
I did it!
Well done.
When he's not making them, he's cracking up, whipping up big shows around the world. His claim to fame? Double fire whips. Australians just don't come any more authentic than Mick Denigan. As a craftsman and performer, he's whipping up a lot of attention here in the Northern Territories.
I love whip cracking. It brings out the best in people.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Now, Mick's been cracking whips at the markets in Darwin for nearly 20 years. He also performed in the opening ceremony of the 2000 Sydney Olympics. Now, travel to a foreign country usually means an adventure in cuisine, and Australia is no different. All you have to do is open a menu at a local restaurant to see what I'm talking about. Kim Holcomb did that, and she still agreed to sample what the Outback has to offer.
Here at Kangaroo Bistro, they have everything on the menu from crocodile to kangaroo. How big a part of the culture here is food?
Huge.
Chef Simon McLean's background is fine dining.
There you go.
But these days he cooks food far off the beaten path.
There you go. This one's some barramundi.
Whether it's the Outback's most popular fish or most feared predator.
Because it's a crocodile and it eats people. People like to eat it, I think, mostly. It's the novelty of it. It's just a creature you don't get the chance to buy.
The key to cooking croc is creativity. Without spices, it's actually pretty bland.
So anyone who says crocodile tastes like chicken, they haven't tasted
crocodile.
They're lying.
Exactly.
On the other hand, barramundi is tasty in just about any form, even steamed in a piece of bark.
That's really good.
Probably my favorite one out of the lot.
Red meat is big too.
It's just something quite different. That's buffalo.
Another featured dish, kangaroo skewers.
I've got to say that we are the only country in the world that will eat our own totem. So we'll eat kangaroo and we'll eat emu.
It's akin to venison in the U.S.
Hey, kangaroo, I'm so sorry.
Common fare in Australia's Northern Territory, but one bite was enough for this American.
I'm never gonna get over this guilt.
Whatever your taste, it's all distinctly Outback, an area equally rich in culture and flavor.
Thanks, Kim. Now, of course, there's also Vegemite, which is produced in Melbourne. It's a favorite here in Australia. Barbecuing is a national pastime, and they love takeout food, but here they call it takeaway food.
Still ahead, an exclusive look at the Outback's newest premier lodge, where luxury meets wildlife. And up next, Michael King with 3 reasons why you should see illusionist Michael Grosso next week.